Every once in a while, I get this irresistible urge to pump my precious body full of ooey gooey delicious American cheese. And if you are going to follow through on such an act, you better do it the right way and make some unforgettable queso dip. There is no time to waste, my friends. Now let's go! It's absolutely fine just to use some canned chilies for this, but I'm gonna roast off some Fresno chilies and some jalapeños for this queso. And I like to just do this over an open flame. If you don't have a gas stove like this, you can use the broiler in your oven. So I'm doing both of them, jalapeños and Fresnos over there. I'm just turning these about every 30 seconds or so, and I'm gonna keep doing that. About 4 or 5 minutes, dependent on how strong your stove is all it should take. And the same deal with the jalapeños over here. Just keep rolling them every 30 seconds or so. All right, now we drop all of our chilies into a Tupperware container. You know, you can use a plastic bag for this, but I don't see the point of doing it because you have to throw away the bag, right? Just use Tupperware. And put a cap on it. And we'll just let this sit for about 10 minutes. It'll be really easy to peel them. So as you can see here, there's a bunch of steam now trapped inside here, and letting them sit in that steam for about 10 minutes just makes them really easy to peel. Just about 10 minutes on the peppers, and we'll just pop this open. And now I would recommend not using water to peel these peppers. A lot of people will teach you to do that, and you just lose a little bit of flavor doing it. And really, it's fine just to pick it off with your fingers like this. If you have a little trouble, you can just take a little paper towel and wipe it with that, and that really helps to peel it as well. But honestly, if there's a few little bits of skin left on the pepper, it's really not a big deal. And that is just full of flavor now. And then all I'll do is just chop that top, and then I'll split it just on one side of the skin here, just so I can open it up like so. And from there, I'll just scrape out these seeds with my knife. I don't need all these seeds in there. Even a little piece of paper towel really helps to get the remaining seeds. And now we're simply gonna dice these chilies into just little cubes, turn them that way, and then nice little pieces going this way. Simple as that. Just follow the exact same process with your jalapeños, and then get both your chilies into separate bowls. All right, for our 3 cheeses, one of these is a little off, right? And it's the Velveeta. But you need Velveeta if you're gonna make queso. It just brings the whole dish together in a way that, well, real cheese won't do. But we are using some real cheese in here just to offset all the plastic. We have a little bit of English cheddar and one of my favorite melting cheeses, which is fontina cheese. These are the 3 we're gonna use for this dish. You know, nobody knows exactly what Velveeta is. Is it cheese? Is it not cheese? No, I don't ask questions when it comes to Velveeta. So with the cheese, this is the Velveeta. I'm just gonna cut it into squares. Everything will melt up nicely in the pot. So here we go, just some nice little square chunks. Now I'm just doing the English cheddar, same deal. The measurements is weighted and it's in the description box underneath the video. And I'm just gonna trim a little bit of that edge off the fontina and then do the exact same thing. Just cut it into nice squares. Does not need to be perfect. Last thing we need to do is just dice up 1 onion for this queso. I just like to split it directly in half like so. Then I'll take that little tail off right there. You can leave the root end intact when you're dicing an onion if you ask me. And then we'll just peel it up like so. And then from here, I'm gonna do like medium to small dice. I like to go this way first, you know, and it doesn't need to be perfect for queso, so I'll just go 1 through the middle. And then from there, we'll just slice this way into nice little diced cubes. Here I've just got 3 Roma tomatoes. I'm just gonna quarter them like this first. And then from here, I'll go from that bottom end and then pull through and take off that little top piece with it. You can certainly save that and eat it in a salad or something, but for this preparation, I just wanna make these nice little dices of the edge. So we'll just work our way through the tomatoes like so. And then we're just gonna pull through with the tip of our knife like this, turn sideways, and we'll just get another little dice out of these tomatoes, just like that. I just got a pan here over medium heat. I'm putting in a couple tablespoons of avocado oil. Any kind of neutral cooking oil will do. Okay, so I'm just going in with the onions first, straight in, and I'll just drop in the salt that's in this recipe right now. So I'm just gonna cook these down over medium heat for about 8 to 10 minutes until they're nice and soft and a little bit translucent, but don't have a lot of color on them. And we got a little Sergeant Gilbert reporting for duty coming in. Now I'm gonna put in about 2/3 of my tomato. I'm gonna save some here for garnish though. And same deal with the chilies. We're using 2/3, saving a little for garnish. The Fresno, and this is the jalapeno. Jalapena. So I just cooked the tomatoes down for about 3 minutes. Now I'm adding garlic powder. Full recipe is in the description, but I'm doing 2 teaspoons, as well as the onion powder I'm putting in right now. Go ahead and mix that in. Now I'm going in with evaporated milk, which is basically just milk with a lot of the water removed. You could also just use regular whole milk, whatever you fancy, straight in. Okay, now we are going in with all our cheese. I have the heat here just on medium low, and I'm gonna show you how to finish this on the stove, but then we are gonna take this to another another level with a little bit of chorizo and some good old-fashioned smoke. So I'm just stirring this periodically, and everything is melting up nicely. You can absolutely just make this on the stove and serve it right away if you want. So I've just been stirring this for about 5 minutes over that low heat, and now as you can see, it's come perfectly together. We have our cheese sauce done here. Oh my gosh. And you can see it's still melting a little bit, so maybe I'll keep stirring it for a minute or two. So I have a pan here over medium-high heat. This is gonna be the meat version of the queso. Very simple to make, and we'll just go ahead and crumble all our chorizo in here. I just bought some cheap bulk chorizo. Find this stuff pretty much anywhere in America, I think. Straight in. I've just been cooking this chorizo down for about 6-7 minutes. It's totally cooked now, and I've been breaking it up a little bit into smaller pieces. That is done and ready to go. And this can be a really easy way just to have 2 kinds of queso without doing really much extra work at all, only frying the chorizo for about 5 minutes. And then you have one with meat and one without, which is also nice. So I'm just taking out half my queso and putting it into a dish that I'll place in the smoker. Now we simply add in our chorizo, and we'll just give that a nice little mix in, like so. Now I'll just place that in the smoker at 325 degrees for about 35-40 minutes. While your queso is smoking, I'm just gonna chop up a couple garnishes that are gonna go on top along with the chilies and such. And the first one is just gonna be some green onions. And we'll just slice those thinly once through. A little bit of cilantro as well, and from here I'll just start on that stalk end actually. There's nothing wrong with cilantro stalks, so I'll slice from the stalks toward the leaves and get a little blend of both by the end. So some corn tortillas here, I'm gonna just chop them into chip-sized pieces, like this, and in half, and then the halves in half. Okay, so I have some peanut oil here at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna drop in our tortilla chips, no more than that. And the water is gone. Amazing, huh? So you want to fry them in small batches, obviously, so you don't get your oil overflowing. In fact, if I have to be very honest, using a bigger pot is definitely a good idea. These have been frying now for about 3 minutes. Could take a little longer or shorter depending on the tortillas you use, or you can absolutely just buy tortilla chips. There's no shame in that. And right when they come out of that fryer, always a good idea to season them. Just some salt going all over. I just pulled this out of the smoker. It was in there for 35 minutes total. It's got a nice smokiness going on. I think it's done. Now we'll just add our garnishes and then go to town. I'm really excited. So some of our diced tomatoes, we'll just try to do a little line down the middle. Some of our chilies next to the tomato here, and some of that wonderful cilantro, and of course the green onion as well. Okay, my friends, ooh, coming in here for a taste. Somebody's gonna need to take this thing away from me. Oh my God, it's so ridiculous with the chorizo. Ah! Yeah. You know I love you.